Islam. It is August the 24th, 2022. This is Arrington-Bey, Hebrew Muslim Moorish descent, and I'm going to be reading the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. Section 1. There we go. All persons shall have the right peaceably to assemble and worship God according to the dictates of their own conscience. Section 2. The use of the public press shall not be obstructed, but criminal publications made in one state against the lawful institutions of another state shall not be allowed. Section 3. The right of citizens to free and lawful speech in public assemblies shall not be denied. Access of citizens to the ballot box shall not be obstructed, either by civil or military power. The military shall always be subordinate to the existing judicial authority over citizens. The privilege of writ habeas corpus shall never be suspended in the presence of judicial authority. Section 4. The militia of state or of the United States shall not be employed to invade the lawful rights of the people of any of the several states, but the United States shall not be hereby deprived of the right and power to defend and protect its property and rights within the limits of any of the states. Section 5. Persons held to service or labor for life in any state under the laws thereof may be taken into any territory of the United States south of north latitude 36 degrees 30, and a right to such service or labor shall not be impaired thereby, and the territorial legislature thereof shall have the exclusive right to make and shall make all needful rules and regulations for the protection of such right, and also for the protection of such persons. But Congress or any territorial legislature shall not have power to impair or abolish such right of service in the said territory, while in a territorial condition without the consent of all the states, such as said latitude, which maintain such service. Let me go to the next page. There we go. Section 6. Involuntary servitude, except for crime, shall not be permanently established within the district of set apart from the seat of government of the United States, but the right of sojourn in such district with persons held to service or labor for life shall not be denied. Section 7. When any territory of the United States south of north latitude 36 degrees 30 shall have a population equal to the ratio of representation to one member of Congress, and the people thereof shall have formed a constitution for a republican form of government, it shall be admitted as a state into the Union on an equal footing with the other states, and the people may in such constitution either prohibit or sustain the right to involuntary labor or service, and alter or amend the Constitution at their will. Section 8. The present right of representation in Section 2, Article 1 of the Constitution shall not be altered without the consent of all the states maintaining the right to involuntary service or labor south of latitude 36 degrees 30. But nothing in this Constitution or its amendments shall be construed to deprive any state south of said latitude 36 degrees 30 of the right of abolishing involuntary servitude at its will. Section 9. The regulation and control of the right to labor or service in any of the states south of latitude 36 degrees 30 is hereby recognized to be exclusively the right of each state within its own limits. And this Constitution shall not be altered or amended to impair the right of each state without its consent, provided this article shall not be construed to absolve the United States from rendering assistance to suppress insurrections of domestic violence, when called upon by any state, as provided in Section 4, Article 4 of this Constitution. Section 10. No state shall pass any law in any way interfering with or obstructing to the recovery of fugitives from justice, or from labor of service, or any law of Congress made under Article 4, Section 2 of the Constitution, and all laws in violation of this section may, on the complaint made by any person of the state, be declared by the Supreme Court of the United States. Section 11. as a right of committee between the several states south of latitude 36 degrees 30 to the right of transit with persons held to involuntary labor or service from the one state to another state shall not be obstructed, but such persons shall not be brought into the states north of said latitude. Section 12. The traffic in slaves from Africa is hereby forever prohibited on pain of death, and the forfeiture of all the rights and property of persons engaged therein, and the descendants of Africans shall not be citizens. Section 13. Alleged fugitives from labor of service or request shall have a trial by jury before being returned. Section 14. Alleged fugitives charged with a crime committed in violation of the law of a state shall have the right of trial by jury, and if such persons claims to be citizens of another state shall have a right of appeal or of a right of error to the Supreme Court of the United States. Section 15. All acts of any inhabitant of the United States tending to incite persons held to service or labor, to insurrection or acts of domestic violence, or to abscond, are here prohibited and declared to be a penal offense, and all the courts of the United States shall be open to suppress and punish such offenses at the suit of any citizen of the United States or the suit of any state. Section 16. All conspiracies in state to interfere with lawful rights in any other state or against the United States shall be suppressed, and no state or the people thereof shall withdraw from this union without the consent of 3/4 of all the states, expressed by the amendment proposed and ratified in the manner provided in Article 5 of the Constitution. Section 17. Whenever any state wherein involuntary servitude is recognized or allowed shall propose to abolish such servitude, and shall apply for pecuniary assistance therein, the Congress may, in its discretion, grant such relief, not exceeding $100 for each person liberated, but Congress shall not propose such abolishment or relief to any state. Congress may assist free persons of African descent to emigrate and colonize Africa. Section 18. Duties on imports may be imposed for revenue, but shall not be excessive or prohibitory in amount. Section 19. When all the several states shall have abolished slavery, then and thereafter slavery or involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, shall never be established or tolerated in any of the states, territories, or the United States, and shall be forever free. Section 20. The provisions of this article relating to involuntary labor and servitude shall not be altered without the consent of all the states maintaining such servitude. And those were the 20 sections of the 13th Amendment, the actual 13th Amendment. Today again is August the 24th, 2022. This is Arrington-Bey here with Mountain Boys.